Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at a completely maxed out Zacian and best buddy as well. Unfortunately not 100% IV, but it is going to be the best one that I did currently have. I did get a little bit of a better one this time around, but it is what it is. I have this one invested, so we're going to go ahead and go with it here. You do have Iron Head as well as Wild Charge that you could run with to give you some coverage. Most people like to probably run Wild Charge and then Quick Attack as well as Close Combat. We're personally going to go with Snarl, Play Rough, and Close Combat. I just find that to be the moveset that I personally like the most. We are going to be pairing it up with Zygarde as well as Kyogre, and then we're going to swap out, I do believe, the Kyogre for Shadow Mewtwo with Double Legacy. Alright, so taking a look at Zacian here, definitely going to be your top tier. Absolutely amazing for Master League. Very good because it does have Close Combat as well as coverage like Wild Charge. Not too many people are going to be running Iron Head, but I guess you do have that there too if you wanted to go with it. Now, there is going to be another form for this, which we are going to be discussing. And by the way, I was only able to get one shiny. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. I'm not too worried about it. Now, taking a look at its other forms, we have the regular Zacian stats to the left, and then the crown is going to be to the right. It will be picking up a steel typing, and I'm going over this here just so you know, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on how it could potentially work. Not that it's like a super big mystery. It is going to require a sword of some kind, rusty sword. So you may have to collect particular particles or items or a certain amount of this rusty sword that they do give us in Pokemon Go. And I would assume that they're going to throw the actual crown sword at us. So we're going to be going up against that in the raids. And then once you do defeat it, the catch screen will be regular Zacian, which could probably be shiny, as well as having a signature move. I would hope that's what's going to be happening here. So its moves are going to maintain unless they do decide to give it another move, plus its a signature move. As far as the stat buff, it is looking pretty good. It's going from 4,329 combat power upwards to 5,000, which is pretty crazy, as well as that attack rising up pretty nice up to 332. But where does regular Zacian land as of now as far as a raid attacker for fairy typing, because that's the only type it does have until it does pick up that crown sword, which it is going to be getting a steel typing. I mean, as a pure fairy type attacker, you have better options because this does not have a very quick move whatsoever. Snarl and Quick Attack, it's not really cutting it here. Fire Fang is also on the table, but that's clearly not a fairy move or getting stabbed. But you do have a pretty strong fairy type attacker in general here. Once, or maybe if they do give it a fairy quick move in the future, it will be bumped up for a good fairy type raid attacker. You can still use it and it's still amazing. There's just other options that could do potentially better for you if you have multiple, or I don't know, just a whole nother roster of your fairy types. But when it comes down to the Master League, it is definitely, a must-have to invest in. Either this or Xerneas, I suppose, are going to be both very good for you to invest in as a fairy type attacker. But then you have also Zamazenta, which is going to be a whole nother type. It's just fighting. It'll pick up a fighting steel, so it works in the similar way. You'll get a particular shield, rusty shield, I do believe, and you will probably just accumulate it. So it's not like you need to get out there and rush to do as many Zacians as possible. As a matter of fact, what you could do is, accumulate a decent amount of candies and or XL candies for when we do receive this in the future, so you don't have to do as much. You never know. Maybe you have a Shundo. Maybe you have 100 right now. Do some more when it re-releases with its other form, and then see if you can find a better one. You're going to also be able to collect candies there, and since it's going to be its other form, there'll probably be a little bit more hype around it. Not that there isn't too much hype now. People are loving this thing, but there's going to be even more people out there trying to do it, so it might be easier for you to even accumulate these people to show up, or just, look for the group people out there. Otherwise, yeah, just take it easy. I just needed to top this one out because I do wanted to max it out finally so I can showcase it properly in the Open Master League here. But it's probably going to work in a way of you collect that particular item, Rusty Sword, Rusty Shield, for whatever one you need, and then it'll probably work maybe in like the Mega way, right? So instead of Mega Energy, they'll just call it Rusty Shield Energy, or Rusty Sword Energy, or something like that. Should be pretty fun. Do I think they'll allow it into the Master League? I mean, if they're letting Necrozma Dawnwings and Necrozma Duskmane in there, I think they might just allow these in there as well. Although I feel like they're going to be a little OP and kind of function as a Mega, so we just might see it not being allowed in there. Now that I think about it, Yeah, we'll have to see. I think this person actually did. Oh, never mind. There's going to be somebody who backs out here, but then it slows down. They just sit there. So they're not lagging. They actually close out their game. That's what we're seeing here. So very exciting for the future of this. You know, I don't think they're going to be releasing them for this season, for this maxed out season. Even though we're focusing on this particular region that they're coming from, I think it'll be a little bit much. They're releasing the shinies, yeah. And then we'll probably see it in like a, who knows? Who knows? Maybe in a year or so, we might just see the crowned and the the other forms of these two things, right? So, as far as the shiny is concerned, I don't care. Literally, I really don't. Although I'm gonna have to say they look fantastic, and I will be trying a little harder for Zamazenta because I do need more candies to actually max that one out. I don't even have a good one here. But anyways, what about Zacian? Is it worth you powering up? Again, yeah. Now, say you're not into Master League. Is it still going to be worth powering up for raiding up against things that are weak to Fairy, particularly Fighting and Dragon? I'm going to have to say, yeah, you're pretty safe to power that one up if you have a pretty decent IV, and go for it. Yeah, absolutely. All right. But anyways, taking a look at these battles here, we do have a Veltal out here. Pretty bad position for this thing. Letting it go. Going to go ahead and swap into the Mewtwo, and leaving us pretty vulnerable here. Going to go ahead and let that go. See if we can get to the Size Strike. Unfortunately, not able to get there. So what we're going to have to do is, can we pull this one off? How's this working here? All right, we called it. 2 close combats. Oh my goodness. See, that's why this thing is so damn good. I mean, if we had Wild Charge, we'd be in the same position too. But since you are weak to Steel, it is giving you that coverage to handle them. So it's freaking stinking good. And not only that, you do have Fire Fang. Although I do not recommend you run Fire Fang, to be honest. Quick Attack, Snarl, and then finally Fire Fang would be your last option. Let's go ahead and get into these battles and commentary here. So we're going to be up against a Dragonite with arguably one of the most cheap Pokemon for Master League, and that's going to be Zygarde. Getting completely shut down by Togekiss, as a matter of fact, because no matter what move we do have, it's all going to be resisted. But that is going to be an Avalugg, so still going to be 4 times weak. So we're going to go ahead and bring in our good old trusty Mewtwo here with the double legacy. Size Strike hits so damn hard as a Shadow Mewtwo. It's unbelievable. And we will let this one go. We'll barely survive this here. And we're getting to it. I don't know if this is actually going to be enough to take out the Avalugg. Let's see. And it is fantastic. And we didn't even have to use a shield there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and bring in Zacian at this point, and they do have a Rhyperior in the back. You know, it's awesome that I'm seeing a ton of Rhyperiors now because I've said it before, but I'm a pretty big fan of the design. It just looks great. It came from, you know, quite literally the first Pokemon ever designed. And now it's got a lot more love here, seeing that its Mud Slap is doing so much. Breaking Swipe, pretty damn good. And then its Community Day move, Rock Wrecker, if you're able to land that, it's doing a ton to pretty much everything that doesn't resist it. So it's good to see it out here. Swapping back into Dragonite. The only saving grace that this thing could have is to hit me with a Hurricane. But Superpower still doing a good amount of damn damage over here. Building up a little bit more energy that we need so we can get there without getting stuck and screwed over. Just gonna build up to that close combat because of course it's super effective. This will be enough to take out that Rhyperior, and we take the win with Zacian. Let's keep it moving here. What are we gonna see for our next battle? I think we're leading Zygarde the entire time. Oh, there's that Togekiss. Of course, there it is. Yes, there it is. All right, so they're going to be swapping into their Dragonite as we do bring in our Mewtwo here, and we're just going to spam the hell out of them with the Size Strike. See if we can win this matchup here. We'll put on the pressure for them to use 2 shields. If we do that, it's going to be looking pretty good for us here, as the Zacian can handle that Togekiss. Unfortunately, not getting to the next Size Strike. So, of course, we are going to go ahead and bring in our Zygarde. If you're thinking, why not bring in the Zacian? We want to maintain that health, okay? Yes, this is going to do a decent amount, but we'll go ahead and catch this here. We've built ourselves up into a pretty good position. I'm hoping that there's another dragon, but they're swapping into that Togekiss. So at this point, we're just going to go ahead and hit them with, of course, the Play Rough here. And get to the next one. And then we'll have a Zygarde ready to go for whatever is in the back. And even the Zacian here with some health left. Let's see what happens. This will be enough. We're in the red, but we still have a decent amount of health. Let's see what's going on here. If they have a dragon, we'll be looking all right. All right, Rhyperior. Alrighty, here we go again. So they're swapping into their Dragonite. And we will shield this up because they're getting stabbed from that. And the Rhyperior doesn't get stabbed from their breaking swipe. And then their Rock Wrecker's not very effective. So it's just best to shield up the Dragonite at this point here. Unfortunately, we do not have Earthquake. So I don't know if we're going to actually be able to pull this one off here, because it looks like they're going to be able to almost farm me down. Swap into the Zacian. Can we get to the close combat? Man, this has to be breaking. It is breaking swipe. All right, we survived. Can we get to the close combat? Will this be enough to take out the Rhyperior? Zacian putting in the work with a couple HP, and we take that win yet again up against the Rhyperior with close combat. Next game, met with another parry. I can't get a break around here, folks. I can't. It's okay. Let's have some fun here. Algorithm's going to do what it's got to do. Going for the Side Strike as we do bring in our Mewtwo. They're retreating with energy on that thing, bringing in a Solgaleo. All right. Okay, let's have a little fun here. Letting that go because we already know it's going to be a Psychic Fang. Not very effective. Going straight for that Shadow Ball here. They already know what's up. Shielding it up. And we're not going to shield this up. We're going to let it go. See if we can get to the next Shadow Ball. Whoa. Okay, now that was legit. It was just barely there. Unfortunately, we're not able to get there. Should have just went for the Side Strike to trick them. Probably could have gotten another shield out of them anyway. All right, so bringing in the Zygarde to just go crunch crazy here. Let me know down below if you're still working on your Zygarde, collecting those cells from the routes. Such a daunting task. To be honest, I am so happy it's over. Quite literally, all my routes were reported. And one of them was quite literally replaced. Like somebody reported it and then made it themselves. And now theirs is there right on top of mine. I'm like, what the f is wrong with you people? What's wrong with your brains? But whatever, I got mine, so have fun. Anyways, what's going on over here? They're bringing in their Origin Palkia. We're going to go ahead and bring in our, of course, Zacian here to have a little fun. Now, we do need to look out for that Aqua Tail. We'll go ahead and shield up that first one just so we can maintain our health a little bit here. Going for the Play Rough, which should be enough to take them out at this point. Oh, yeah, easy. But they're using their last shield. Okay, they want to put up a fight with this thing. Sounds good to me. Still quite not enough to take them out with close combat, so, oh, they're swapping. Good thing we didn't throw here. So we're definitely going to want to shield this up to hold on to all that energy that we do have. Go for the close combat, which will easily take out this fairy type here since they're so low. Down they go. They have no more shields left. And of course, this close combat should be enough. Or is it? Oh my gosh, it's not enough. It's not enough, but a couple more quick moves is it. And we take that win there. They could have totally got me with their Aqua Tail, so thank goodness we had enough to take them out with that quick move. Next game, a Rhyperior, back at it again. Of course it is. Now, you know what's quite surprising to me? That this thing can hold its own. Now, if I had Earthquake, it'd be doing a lot more, and it's a lot more of a different situation if you did and, you know, you landed it. But that Outrage still doing a good amount. Does give me coverage for potential flyers. But with Breaking Swipe on this Rhyperior, it's able to keep up. But look at this. Now, this is not going to be enough to take me out, but you got to give it up for this thing. It's not even getting stabbed from that Breaking Swipe, but it's still bringing Zygarde down this low, which is pretty incredible, and almost taking me out. Damn, really holding it down there. All right, so they're bringing in their Origin Palkia. We got this same thing going on. We can let this first Aqua Tail go. It's really not a threat for the first one, and I'm not too worried about it here. We do have that Mewtwo in the back. Gonna go for that Play Rough, which will KO. Do they shield up? And of course they do. Now, I think we're going to want to shield this next one up here. Got a whole lot of frame skipping, if you can notice it. Again, it's never going to be me and my editing or whatever the software may be or anything like that. That frame skipping you see is what's happening in the game. So they're bringing in a Yveltal. Another good situation for my Zacian here. We're going to go close combat for the lower energy and get a shield. We are in a little bit of an awkward position here. Side Strike is resisted, but it will start adding up. It really will. So we're going to go ahead and just let this go here. Of course, they're going to KO. We have one shield left, but we really do need to play our position correctly, or this is just going to be all screwed up here. So this is their last Pokemon. Let's go ahead and go for the Play Rough, and that's going to about wrap it up there, and we take the win with our Zacian, star of the show. Let's keep it moving, folks. If you can give this video a thumbs up, that'd be much appreciated. Next game, we're met with a shiny Origin Dialga. Damn, that color looks great. It really does. Still wasn't able to get a good one with the Roar of Time, unfortunately. But hey, what can you do? All right, so they're going to be swapping to catch an outrage, or at least we're just throwing it. You know, it was probably not the best idea to do that. I should have just went for the crunch to do a little bit of damage, and then the play rough would have been enough on the Zacian. A little bit of an overkill and waste of energy on my end here, but hey, nonetheless, we're taking that win. We are down a shield, so we are already screwing it up here. And getting to the close combat, I'm expecting they're going to be throwing that breaking swipe right after this, and we're going to survive. Getting a shield out of them. Is it going to be breaking swipe? So our defense is down by 2 stages, and the quick move should take us out here. Yeah, unfortunately not able to get to another close combat, but that's all right. The Zygarde can handle this really easy here. Well, I mean, not really. Not really. We've already seen that situation, but it can absorb these hits fairly well, especially if they do have Rock Wrecker. They're going to be forced to just hit that breaking swipe, which you can kind of take over and over again. Swapping into their Dialga as we throw the Outrage here. And we're going to go ahead and just stay here to do our damage. Maybe could have swapped into the Mewtwo, but hey, what can you do? We're already here, so let's go with it. At this point, we're going to Psycho Cut them down and then just double Side Strike the Rhyperior, and that's just the play to do here. Their health is low enough for us to take them out with a Side Strike, so of course we're going to be getting a shield out of them right away, and then we hit another one here. You know, it still blows my mind that they've made Mewtwo this OP, especially with the Shadow form. Side Strike never touched, always doing the same damage, always cost the same energy, just nuts. Then it has Psycho Cut, then they gave it Shadow form. It's like crazy. And if you're thinking, well, you know, it's kind of squishy, I guess still overpowered to me, to be honest, but it's all right. I love it. So we do have a Zarude out here. It looks like it's maxed out. Was it maxed out? I can't tell. Zarude, what you got for me, buddy? Another Power Whip. All right, we're gonna go ahead and farm you down at this point. Still in the yellow, have a pretty good amount of health. Bringing in a Primarina with Charm. We're going to go ahead and bring in our Mewtwo, and they have a Zekrom back there. Sounds good. We're going to start throwing these Side Strikes here. And of course, we're going to be getting shields out of them. Going to go for the next one immediately. One after another. I think we can get to another one here. We may... Well, what do we have in the bag? We got the... Oh, no, they're farming us down. Okay, never mind. Well, that answers that there. What are we going to do? We're going to go ahead and bring in the Zygarde and go straight for the Outrage here. And they're letting it go. Well, they've got no more shields. What am I talking about? Of course they're letting it go. All right, so pretty much out for the count here. We're going to farm them down. We'll shield this up because it could be Fusion Bolt. Of course it's Fusion Bolt. So that would have done a lot of damage. Bringing in that Primarina here. So now we're just going to start throwing the play rough. So I'm not even going close combat. I'm not trying to lower my defense or anything like that. We will shield up this Hydro Cannon. That'll do a lot of damage to us, of course. This next play rough will be enough. Could have went close combat, but that's okay. We don't really need to worry about all that. Just going to go for the play rough and then farm them down with the Zacian and take the win here. We're looking pretty good. Again, you could run Quick Attack on this thing. A lot of people like to run Quick Attack, Close Combat, and Wild Charge. It's a pretty good combination. So they are going to have a Tyranitar lead, swapping into an Origin Palkia. We're going to go ahead and just throw this, and I think we're going to be swapping kind of late into the Zacian here, which is all right. Still going to be good up against the Tyranitar. Probably should have went with the Mewtwo, to be honest, but I think I bring in the Zacian because I will be able to take the hits just a little bit better here, as we can let those go, as well as the Dragon Breath really not doing too much to our health here, right? That's since it's resisted. All right, so we're going to be able to build up to 2 close combats. We take out the Origin Palkia. They bring in the Tyranitar. We're getting their last shield, and we're looking good. Show me what's in the back. If you have another Dark type, I'll be kind of screwed. Sure, but what is it? Xerneas. Perfect. Well, Mewtwo will be able to handle the situation no problem at all. And I do believe this is where they closed out their app. They got a little upset. You know how it goes. I never close out my app. I mean, I'll just back out. Simple as that. There's no need to close it out. But we'll take it here. I will recommend that you just Quick Attack the whole way, because if you hit your charge move when somebody backs out like that, then it is going to require like an extra 5 seconds for you to wait, which just gets annoying. Anyway, so we do have a Rhyperior out here, and we've seen the damage that this thing can do. So let's see what's going on here. We'll let that Breaking Swipe go. I typically don't even shield this thing at all. Let's see if they want to shield this up. All right, shielding up the Outrage. Could have thought it was an Earthquake. And we will let this next one go too. Yeah, I mean, look at this thing. Yeah, they have another one. Built up quite a bit of energy here, hitting them back to back and getting to the next Outrage. They did swap. Okay, sounds good to me. What do they catch with? It's going to be a... Oh my goodness, okay. Good catch with the Togekiss. So at this point, what you're going to want to do is kind of throw the Psystrike as soon as possible before they get to the Ancient Power, because if they do get to the Ancient Power, well, it could possibly raise their defense and attack. So you want to get them before that, right? So taking them out sounds good. Still in the yellow, and we have a ton of energy too. Going for the Psystrike as they do bring in that Rhyperior. They're going to be using their last shield. Should be able to get to one more Psystrike. This is freaking insane. This Mewtwo is just way too damn good. Down goes Rhyperior. They have no more shields left. Now, I could have really used Wild Charge here, but it doesn't really matter because they back out, and we take that win. All right, let's keep it moving here. This might be our last battle, folks. Would have got another Rhyperior. Golly. See, this is what will happen. If I start leading with, I don't know, let's say Kyogre or Primarina with Waterfall. Let's just stay Kyogre to make it simple. I'm just going to be met with a bunch of dragons. Simple as that. Dragon after dragon after dragon. And it'll probably even start running into Raikus. Okay? And people don't even use Raikou. Alright? Unless you're in the lower levels. Alright? Anyways, what do we got going on? We got a nice shiny, got a lot of little frame skipping going on here. Getting to the Psystrike. We're going to hit these back to back if they want a shield. Alright. And unfortunately, we're going to have to use our shield ourselves. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to build up a little bit more energy. Oh, a little bit more. A whole nother Psystrike, so we're ready to go after this here. Down goes that Primarina, and immediately hitting that Psystrike again. Looks like we have a Zekrom out here. All of a sudden, they're showing up out of the blue. Going to go for the Crunch here. Could have built up to the Outrage. Oh, no, that's enough. That's good enough. Perfect. And we have a full Zacian, full health in the back. Now, I do go with the Crunch so we can potentially just, lower its defense. Plus, it's not even that far down before it's taken out, to be honest with you. We don't have to worry about it. They go Rock Record. They're going all in for whatever reason. Okay. Bringing in the Zacian here. Even if they hit me with Rock Record, we're still good. But there's Zacian. Definitely worth your power up. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Take care.
What kind of stereo you got in that blue piece of shit?
You know what? I never checked, Kevin.
Yeah, well, my father's stereo is a Bose.
Your father's stereo blows? That's too bad.
No! I said